Now, people with health challenges find it difficult to travel overseas and even around the country. And my next guest has created a process to overcome the obstacles for this group of people. Ben Wilson's from Medical Travel Companions, and he's here to explain this innovative enterprise. Mate, thanks for joining us.
Thanks very much, Peter.
Why don't you, in a nutshell, explain what the company does?
Yeah, in a very short summary, really, Medical Travel Companions is a unique service. It's a retail service that is designed to, it enables people to travel that wouldn't have that, really enables them to realise their travel dreams. People who wouldn't have the opportunity to travel, we can pair them up with an aged care, professional aged care worker or a nurse to travel on a short journey to their local GP, through to a shop, or to an extended journey through to interstate or international.
Okay, so tell us what your workforce looks like.
Our workforce is made up of credentialed aged care and nurses who are scattered around in each capital city throughout Australia, who have been through a strict credentialing process. And then when we get a job, which is often done through a travel agent, we've only just started the business, we get a call. We match the carer or nurse with the companion. It could be an elderly person, it could be a school group travelling internationally who want someone with a clinical type background to assist, and then we pair them up.
It's like a nanny with health qualifications.
Exactly. Yeah, spot on. So, and really the idea came from my daughter was travelling overseas in South Africa on a school exchange program. She ended up in hospital, to cut a long story short, on an IV drip, and we had to get her back. She couldn't travel. She's all fine now, but she was in a wheelchair coming home, so she needed a companion to come back. And then I thought, through our existing business, which is involved in the health sector and aged care sector, I thought there could be a market there of people who require someone to bring them home, whether it's, that was obviously a critical type case, but there are a lot of people sitting at home would love to travel on a short trip or a long trip, and this gives them that opportunity.
Yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of elderly people who might have family members in the UK or Europe or America or something like that, and they would never travel on a plane by themselves. They might be 70, 80 years of age. But if they actually had someone with them that could actually help them and look after them, they might actually do it.
Yeah, exactly, Peter. And it gives them reassurance, for instance, and the other idea came also from my parents who are elderly. And my father can't travel by himself, but he would travel with a companion that he trusted and knows.
Well, what are the economics of it? Because obviously, it would be expensive, but I guess if you wanted to go to the Gold Coast with the cost of airfares from Virgin and Jetstar nowadays, you probably actually could do it at reasonable rates. Yeah,
the rates really vary from a qualified carer, Peter, right through to a nurse, but they start off at about $490 per day for the carer, and sometimes it's literally taking them from point A to point B, and then the person returning back. So it can be quite short, or it can be split up amongst a group. We've had quite a lot of inquiry from people going to places like Hamilton Island, or they could be going up to Singapore, and that cost is obviously
defrayed between the group. And also school groups, it would be a great risk reducer if teachers thought, well, there's a medical professional on board with this as well.
Yeah, and quite often the school groups go away and they do have a parent who might be a medico, and they go on the trip with them. But quite often it's quite nice to have an independent person who's not associated with the school who can go on the trip.
And I guess also, being a business, you have insurance to cover that particular person and any professional mistakes they might make.
Absolutely.
Which a parent doing it for a school wouldn't have that kind of protection.
Yeah, absolutely. So from a risk, as you quite rightly said, Peter, from a risk management perspective, for a school or for a sporting group,
football teams and things like that. High risk, mate, sending your employees off with football groups.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, so there are lots of avenues, and we see that there is a big hidden market for that. So what we're doing at the moment is we're taking it to the market, to the retail market. We've anchored in a group initially in South Australia called Phil Hoffman Travel, who are helping us promote that through the network, and also part of the Virtuoso Travel Group. We're speaking to an airline and insurance companies. So it's still very early days, Peter, but there's been a lot of interest, and hopefully.
And I would imagine that you actually are going to create a market. If I was a pretty savvy travel agent, I'd say there could be potentially, 100,000 people out there who aren't travelling because of the fear factor, the problem factor, and you're solving that problem.
Yeah, exactly. So, And it's obviously good from a revenue. It's a win-win for the travel agent or the airline or the insurance company. They get to sell another ticket or another 2 tickets minimum, being the person who would love to travel who can't, and now they can, and our companion. And potentially a whole group. So from a revenue perspective, it's a win for them, and also from a community corporate social responsibility perspective, it looks very good, and it is a good thing. And with the Abbott government raising the retirement age potentially up to the 70s, it enables those people to remain independent.
Do you also think that there would be a lot of mature people who might have retired or are unhappy about being retired, who become members of your workforce, in a sense, become the companions?
Potentially, absolutely, absolutely. So as long as they're credentialed and they've got the right background, definitely. Yes.
Okay, and also, do you envisage or hope that airlines say, well, we will give discounted airfares to the companion because they're going to actually help fund a full paying customer?
Potentially, yes. That's something that we have discussed. But at the moment, as I said, Peter, we're probably 60% of the way down there through the discussions.
The ideas are going to emerge day by day as you actually... And people will ultimately come to you with ideas that you might not have even thought about.
Absolutely, and that's happening every day as we go around speaking to the airlines or the insurance companies.
Okay.
So
if people want to know more, what's the website?
www.medicaltravelcompanions.com.au.
Ben, good luck with it.
Thanks very much, Peter.
My pleasure.